Hey everyone! Today I wanted to try using this thing that I've had for quite a long time. I got it actually to try to cut bottles for some decorative purposes for my wedding, and I ended up not using it because the place that I was going to had little glass vases that would work perfectly for what I needed. So I spent, how much is it? I spent $26 on this for no reason. I found it in my closet the other day and I thought, why not try it out? I have this wine bottle that I bought purely because I like the decoration on it, and I thought it could make a nice cup or a nice glass. So I'm gonna try it on here. I tested this thing out yesterday, which is why it's put together, and I had a decent result. So hopefully I have a perfect result with this guy. So yeah, let's get started. I'm using this bottle cutter. It's a G2 bottle cutter. I've seen it elsewhere called like the Generation 2 bottle cutter. I don't know, but this is what it looks like. Well, this is what it looks like. It comes not put together. You have to assemble it once you get it. I don't know if you noticed it wasn't fitting in the box because I had already put it together. So yeah, keep that in mind. There's instructions in this so that you know how to put it together, but since I opened this a while ago, the instructions are lost. It's also supposed to come with like 2 sandpaper emery board things that are also lost for me. So yeah. It also has this, which is supposed to help you like tap the score line that you make. You like stick it in like this, and then you kind of do this. I don't know, I've never used it. The bottle that I tested out yesterday, the neck was like too small for this to fit in, so I might use that today. I don't know. We'll see. You also need sandpaper, preferably wet sandpaper or wet or dry sandpaper. You need to start off with a higher grit, so I'm going to do 80 and then work down to 320 to smooth out the cut. This isn't wet dry sandpaper, so we'll see how that goes. So there's that. You need your glass bottle. I've heard that thicker bottles work better than thinner bottles. I guess they crack more predictably. Thinner bottles have more of a chance of like splitting in the wrong spot, apparently. You also need a pot of hot water and a pot of cold water, deep enough to at least submerge like wherever your cut line is. I have a pot going on the stove, trying to get it to boil, and then I have a pot of ice water that I'm going to bring over here when the time comes. So after you assemble this contraption, this thing goes like into the top of the bottle like this. And then this is the cutter, this green thing right here. After you place this, you want to loosen these little wing nuts. And then you want to position this thing so that the cutter will be right where you want to cut. So for me, I have this little handy dandy line right here. I'm gonna try to cut right above that. So you just let it go down. And then also obviously this is like a huge gap, so you wanna like move it over so that it's like right touching the glass. So I think I want it right there. Ooh. Once you have it where you want it, you'll probably have to like pinch it to keep this in place, and then just tighten the wing nuts. So once you have it where you want it to be, this thing just kind of helps you hold it against the bottle. So then once everything's all positioned, you want to make sure everything's nice and tight. What I like to do is, so I've been holding this the whole time to keep it in place, but what I end up doing is kind of putting all the pressure onto this, like downward pressure and towards the bottle, so then I can let that go and I can use this hand to move the bottle. So you'll hear it lightly scoring, so here we go. You can see my score mark all the way around. You only want to go over it once. You don't want to do it multiple times. I've seen people do that. Apparently that makes it easier to break or something. At this point, what you can do is use this like tapper. So like this adjusts and you can kind of like put it down until it goes to where your cut line is. So like you're supposed to be able to like lightly tap it or whatever. I feel like I've never seen people actually using this thing. So I'm just gonna go straight into the hot and cold water. Okay, so I have my hot water and my cold water. Basically, you just kind of want to like keep dunking back and forth until it pops. You want to have enough water to cover the score line. So my bottle wasn't fitting into the boiling water very well. So I have my kettle boiling, so I'm gonna hold it in here and pour it over. So hopefully that works better. All right, I'm gonna just hold it in here, slowly pour the hot water on top. Oh geez. Nice. Okay, so then from here, I'm gonna go straight into my cold water. Come on, back over here. Now the score line is fully submerged. Okay, here we go. Nothing. Some people that do this, it just like happens so fast. So my hot and cold water situation wasn't working as well as I would have hoped. So I started using this little tapper to see if I could get it to start, and I can tell right here it's starting to go. Let's see, can I? So I'm just gonna like work my way around tapping. See right there, you could see the crack. Oh yeah, you see it start going? Oh yeah, see that? Okay, I was talking all kinds of shit about this little tapper thing. Like, I've never seen anybody use it, blah, blah, blah. But this is working really well. I'm having a lot more, I mean, I'm still not done, but I'm having a lot more success with this, I think. It's definitely a slower process though. Okay, so now that I did the tapping, I'm gonna try to shock it again because obviously, you know, it's still together. It's not completely apart. So I'll stick it in the cold water first this time. And then the hot. Oh, did you hear it? Oh, jeez. And there we go. Yay, I did it, finally. Okay, it's not the cleanest cut. Okay, and then this is hot, so I want tongs. Cute. Okay, I'm gonna dunk it in here so that it cools down. So we finally got it to work. Here's my little glass. It's not perfect all the way around. I don't know if I should try tapping that off or not. I think I might just grind it because it's like the tiniest little bit. So now, obviously you don't want to drink out of this just yet because it's sharp glass and you'll cut yourself, so that's where the sandpaper comes in. So you want to start with the 80 grit, which is the roughest, and that's going to like actually remove glass, which I need because I have a little piece that didn't cut perfectly. You want to get a little dish that you can put your sandpaper into, and I'm gonna cut my sandpaper down so that it fits, and then I'm also going to like use this. I'll probably cut another strip and then I can use it like to get the inside You want to put water in this so that, you know, when you're sanding, it doesn't create a bunch of dust for you to breathe in. I'm just going to use this cold water that I have sitting here. So you don't need too much, just enough to like cover the sandpaper. And here we go. Ooh, that sounds good. If you have a Dremel tool, you can use that instead. That would probably be a lot faster. For me, I'm trying to sand the very top of it flat. So that's why I'm just holding it like this and kind of like twisting it. But if you got a perfect cut already, then you could just like hold it at an angle and kind of like go around the edges like this to kind of like round it. And that'll make it so that you don't cut your lip when you're drinking it. This whole sanding process took about 45 whole minutes. I just popped in my headphones and put on some music so I could zone out and just do it. I went through the different sandpaper grits, starting at the roughest and eventually ending at the finest. I used these to sand it flat, and then I went around the edge to bevel it, and then I used the little strips that I cut off to bevel the inner edge. And here, I could stop here because it wasn't sharp anymore, but you can see the parts of the glass that kind of dip in so the sandpaper couldn't really hit it, so it's still smooth and glassy, rather than the frosted part that I've been sanding. I wanted the lip to be as uniform as possible, so I just kept going until almost all of these glassy spots were gone. Okay, I think I finally got it. Finished doing the last of the finest sandpaper. It's like nice and smooth on top now. I'm not gonna cut myself. So obviously this took a long time. So if you have a Dremel tool, I definitely would recommend using it. I don't know how you would wet sand with that. I guess you would just have to make sure you have a dust mask on and like do it outside maybe. But here it is. I really like how this turned out. If you have glass bottles that have like neat designs and stuff on them, this definitely would be a cool little project to do. This glass cutter freaking is pretty amazing, and the tapper was a lifesaver. If you're having trouble like I was having trouble, then make sure to give that a try. It worked really well for me. So yeah. Hey guys, Editing Rachel here. I realized that I forgot to do an outro for this video, so here I am, doing my outro. If you like this project, then please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that good stuff. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, there'll be links down below. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, leave a comment down below. If you want to pick up this hat or any of my other merch, all of that will be linked down below, and it's in the little carousel thing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much to my patrons for helping me produce this video. If you like my videos and have learned something from them, please consider supporting me on Patreon to help me continue to make them. It's totally optional. I'll still be making videos either way. It just helps me be able to put out better stuff. A link will be down below, or you can just click up here in the corner.